And welcome to the Kanawha Valley Hustlers. I'm here with Scott. Scott, tell me, buddy, what's your hustle?
Investment property, rental real estate.
Now, there's a lot of people that claim to be in the real estate industry. So what is it about that industry that attracts so many people?
You know, Joe, honestly, it's in today's world where everything's gotten so mundane, it's the action, it's dealing with people. And ironically, you actually get to improve people's lives by giving them good homes, a place to spend holidays, a good place when they come home from work to raise their families.
There's a lot of people don't think about that, but when it comes to real estate, like what you're really doing is providing a home for people, right?
You are, and in today's world where there's a lot of instability, a lot of volatility, everyone needs a good place to come home, kind of decompress, raise their children, a place where they can kind of, not only come home from work, but even have their hobby and feel safe, essentially.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about the rental business. What's that like?
It's volatile in and of itself. Depending upon the area, depending upon the type of property, it can be quite the experience. But again, I find that if the more give and take you give, the more give the tenants, the more of a relationship you can build, and the better relationships you have.
So, and tell me a little bit about how you got started in this.
Great question. I have a mother that's a real estate agent, and I always had an interest in real estate. It runs in my family. And we picked up one, and we turned it into many more after that. And it's just fun. It's just fun to talk to people. It's fun to. It's like kind of a real life Monopoly, honestly.
That's what I was just gonna say. Is it like Monopoly?
I know it's a cliche answer, but it really is. It really is. I mean, and it's fun too. You don't make it again. It's as relaxed or as cutthroat as you want to make it. I like to make it relaxed. I like to enjoy the experience, and you meet some really fun people.
So talk to me a little bit. I know in the Kanawha Valley in general, I always hear from real estate people there's a shortages, there's not enough inventory, there's not enough houses to go around. What's going on right now?
Great question. So what you have, Joe, you have a lack of, for a better word, contractors, handymen, those kind of art, you can call it an art even, has fallen by the wayside with this push for everyone to go to college and do all this. And so if you're talented with drywall, woodwork, electrical work, plumbing, HVAC, anything, you're in so high demand because there's just none of them around. And the ones that are around, a lot of them are very unreliable. So it makes it very difficult to keep a high standard on what you like to have, and then also the realistic standard on what you can kind of convey to tenants what they can expect. You want to give the best, but realistically you have to rely on other people. And sometimes in this industry, the people that you have to rely on are just very unreliable. I know it's very, again, kind of cliche, but still.
Well, I know Advantage Valley recently did kind of a survey of the kind of Huntington to Charleston corridor and found that like in Kanawha County, for example, the average house was built in the 1950s, right? It's a little bit better in Cabell County, but we definitely have some aging houses around here, right?
So let me that's a great point. And here's what you have, right? You have from the 50s to today, more zoning, more regulations, less people that, everything's gone up in price, and I hate to be inflation, everything's gone up in price. It's so expensive to build that you really can't justify it, because a lot of home prices, Joe, if you look in Kanawha County, for example, a lot of home prices, especially on the west side, have not appreciated in 30, 40, 50 years. Wow. So how can you justify building something new with the cost of materials, the cost of labor, all the regulations you have? You cannot justify it. So you're not going to see a lot of new construction. And if you do, it's usually multifamily where you can scale, right? Volume, right. You can keep costs low, right? The more you build, the cheaper the cost. So do you like to see that change? And how are you going to see that change? Frankly, it's going to be very difficult, honestly. It's going to be very hard. You're going to see a lot of federal money come in to try to push that. You're seeing it in Charleston right now. And even still, you're getting not a lot of participants, because it's still very difficult to make economic sense.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. Well, that's good to know. But we're clawing it all back a little bit at a time, right?
One house at a time, man. One house at a time, one property at a time. That's all you can do.
Well, as we're wrapping up here, is there anything else that people might find interesting about the housing market around here, or getting started in that type of a hustle?
I would say that a lot of people, and in today's modern world, you have YouTube, you have a variety of different ways to learn, but it's really not that difficult. It's really rewarding. It's very fun. You meet a lot of great people, and people that want to make a difference. And it seems like Gen Z, millennials, they all want to make a difference in a way. Buying even one rental property and allowing a family to live in it and have a place where they can raise their family, raise their kids, come home from work, it really is rewarding. Yeah. It really is changing your community in a actual, you can see the change. You can see, you build a house, you make it nice, you have a family there, it's better, everyone wins. And I know, again, sounds so corny, but realistically, that is the bottom line of it, and that's what makes it so enjoyable.
Right. Scott, I want to thank you so much for being part of it today, and I want to thank you for watching and reminding everybody to hustle hard, hustle smart, and always hustle with a smile.